Let me make sure we good. All right. We live. I'm gonna wait a couple seconds. I don't like to wait long, bro. Okay, so I think everything is locked in. The live looking good. Make sure my sound good. Yep, my sound good. Everything is where it's supposed to be. Somebody just texted me and said, "Hey, Master P, hey, Master P posted your content. Did you see it?" So today, somebody actually sent me a clip of Master P posting my content. I get asked if I want to um promote my content on these pages, and I've done stuff like that before with music, and the returns is not worth the investment. So I don't do things like that anymore. But so that was love for Master P to share my content and to help me get my views up a little bit and hopefully help me get some more followers on Instagram and Facebook or whatever. But that was love. If you haven't seen it, it was one of the clips I made. I do things like this, and then I repurposed the content, and he actually posted the content. That's what's up. So this particular live is all about the difference between motion and progress. And I hear a lot of people talk about how they in motion, and it's not a lot of motion. Just being honest, I'm not dogging anybody and what they got going on. I try not to do that because we all have our own journey. And a lot of us, we get to a certain level and we start looking at people that's like directly below us, and we start to feel like they don't know any better or we better than them and all of that. So you have to keep a certain amount of humility in order to keep making progress, because you'll realize even though you are better than you were last week or last month or last year or even yesterday, um, you could still be better. So as fast as you turn your nose up at somebody, somebody turning their nose up at you because it's the top of a mountain, right? So the only person you should be competing with is yourself. You're never going to catch up with certain people. You're never going to keep up with certain people. The only person that you can compete with is yourself. Now you can use a person as motivation and say, "Hey, this is the level that I attain, that I want to attain," but that doesn't mean that you'll ever get there, or it doesn't mean that you won't surpass them. So even when you're looking at somebody as a barrier, or even when you're looking at somebody as the example, there are other levels you can get to. You can definitely do better. So I never tell people that, you need to use this person as your model or whatever. Like, nah, bro, you could take good things from everybody. You could take good lessons from everybody. You could take good information from everybody. Now, I don't advise you doing that because you start mixing up different things. We had our first business builder meetup this weekend. I mean, today actually. So it's a weekly meeting, and today I think we had 5 or 6 people on there. Somebody left, somebody else came, so we ended up with about 6 people that attended, and that was pretty good. I didn't care if one person attended. So, but within the meeting, I talked about Kobe and how Kobe, used to lock in, and that's what the Mamba mentality is all about, is locking in. And you had a person that had been compared to Michael Jordan, l- like all of their career, but I'm not trying to be Michael Jordan. I'm trying to be the best Kobe Bryant, and that person realizes that, um, you know, as long as you can lock in, you can work on it. Now, getting to the topic at hand, we have uh the difference between motion and progress. So motion is just doing anything, right? You can have motion. If your car is in reverse, it's still in motion. If you put your car in neutral, it'll still be in motion most of the time. It'll still move. Um, but to actually make progress is different. So just doing something doesn't mean that you're going to make progress. I see people do this all the time in their business. They're literally doing something just to stay busy. And it could be something within their business. They could be doing something that they feel like is important to their business, but it doesn't move the needle. I had to learn the difference. I'm not dogging anybody. I literally had to learn the difference this year, that it's a big difference in having motion and actually making progress. If you are not doing something in your business that's moving the needle, then you're completely wasting your time. So I'm gonna tell you the difference, right? So let's say you are a hairdresser and you do hair every day. That's your thing. So you could do hair and you could say, well, I found I'm trying different conditioners and whatever. And you say, bam, you got some type of motion. But progress, progress could mean going to get a website, right? Going to get something that people can book you from, like a calendar link or something, like actually doing something to where you got some type of that can actually help your business. So if people can book from a calendar, you'll get more bookings. It's just natural. If people can just go on there and book, you're a hairstylist. You're styling hair most of the day, probably. So you may not be able to book, book clients as fast as somebody just clicking on there. They got your prices, everything there. Boom, they can pay the deposit and they can go on about their business. Now they know they can come in on Tuesday at 9 a.m. and get their hair done. It's just about understanding what your business really needs. Now you have different levers within your business, right? So in your business, you may have leads that you want to turn into clients. You may have offers that you need to make. You may have marketing that needs to be done, and then you may have fulfillment issues or whatever. So in your business, you need to understand where the bottleneck is. The bottleneck is where your business runs into an issue. So if you look at your business and you are getting more than enough leads, so if you're getting 100 people a day reaching out to you about your business, then you don't have a lead flow problem. But if those leads talk to you and they don't book, and you're only booking at, let's say, 3%, 5%, then those leads may not be quality leads, or you may not have your system in place to actually win these leads over. So that's something that you need to work on. It could be your offer, your pricing, it could be a lot of things, but you need to understand that there's a bottleneck there. If you're getting 100 leads a day, 100 people are inquiring about your business, but only 2 or 3 of those people are actually using you for your business, then there's other things within your business that you need to change. So let's say you're getting 100 leads a day, so you don't have a lead flow problem. Let's say you're getting um maybe 50 of those people on the phone, so that's not the big problem. But when they get on the phone, only 2 of those people are actually closing. Now you know that between that 50 and that 2 is something going on there. Maybe your salesperson is not convincing enough. Maybe it is the offer. Maybe it's your method of delivery. It could be a bunch of things within that gap that you need to close in order to help your business scale. This is the same thing with your life, right? So in your life, you could do everything to not do nothing, right? So you could do everything that you don't have to do. You could read, that's cool, but it may not move the needle. You could watch YouTube videos and hope that something happen. You could sign up for courses, whether it be free or paid. You could do a lot of things and say, well, I'm better in myself. The only thing that's important is, can you actually do it? Implementation. So reading is fundamental, right? These courses, most of them are not full of the information you may need. Watching videos on YouTube could be just as bad as watching some type of series that it's just a attention thing. What you need to understand is you have to make progress. Just having motion does not mean you're making progress. If you are not updating your toolbox regularly and you are not making yourself more valuable regularly, then you are not doing yourself a great service, because life will continue to go on Things will continue to evolve. If you're not willing to invest in yourself and make yourself a better person, that investment can be monetarily, that investment could be physical, that investment could be emotional, that investment could be all types of ways, but the investment has to be made. Because if you're not able to sit down and say, I need help with XYZ, I need help with this in particular. If you don't know what the problem is, you can't know how to fix it. So you could do everything else, and that's motion, but you will not make progress until you address the situation at hand and you face it head on. And you said, look, I know I need more leads. I need to reach out to more people. Okay, I got the leads. I know I need to master my sales skills. I know I need it. Okay, I'm getting the actual sale, but people are not referring other people to me. They're not coming back, and they're usually problems. I need to change how I'm delivering the service that I promised. That's the most important thing. At what point am I having the most issues? That's where the progress is made. Motion is all the other stuff that looks good for social media and that keeps you looking like you're busy, but they don't actually move the needle. Progress is doing what has to be done to get to the final result that you're trying to get to. That is the main difference between motion and progress.